Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is my very first video that I'm ever filming, and it was a little rocky, I'm not gonna lie. But I wanted to give you all some tips and tricks on my everyday, simple-ish, I guess you could say this is simple. This is probably extra than most people would want to do. But this is my everyday makeup routine using drugstore affordable makeup products. This is just like a simple everyday routine, and I could do something a little more simple than this. You could obviously just throw some bronzer in on the crease and not even have to worry about eyeshadow, and it would look so beautiful. So yeah, if you want to see how I achieved this makeup look using affordable drugstore makeup, then let's just get on into the video. All right, so I already did my brows because I'm not really a pro at that yet, and I'm not too confident on like teaching you how to do it. So I went ahead and did them, and I used the COVERGIRL Ultra Fine Brow Pencil in the shade Soft Brown. So I already did that. Now I'm gonna start off with the eyes, and I like to start off with the eyes so I don't have any fallout that falls onto my face or anything like that, because then you just put your foundation on and it just kind of smears in. So first we're gonna prime the eyes with the Maybelline Better Skin Concealer. It looks like this, and mine is in the shade Ivory. Take some of that, do a few dots on there. I'm just gonna take my finger and rub it in. In doing this, instead of using primer, which I already had this concealer just because this is what I like to use under my eyes sometimes, but this can actually work as a primer, and it cancels out some discoloration and if you have any veins and things like that. So now I'm gonna set my eyelids with this Loreal Infallible Pro Glow powder in the shade, I think it's an Ivory. Yeah, Classic Ivory. And I'm doing this because when you're doing your eyeshadow, you wanna make sure that everything is set, because my personal opinion is that when you go in with an eyeshadow straight on top of a primer and it's still kind of wet and sticky, the eyeshadow does not tend to blend as well as it would if you set it with some powder. Please ignore the mountains on my face. Trying everything I can to get them to leave, but they refuse. They like it. They like it up there. All right, now for eyeshadow, I'm gonna go in with the Milani Everyday Eyes collection, and this is the palette Bare Necessities. So it looks like, oh gosh, my ring light is gonna blind y'all, I'm sorry. So for my crease shade, I'm gonna go in with that light brown shade right there. So when you're going in with eyeshadows, you wanna make sure to tap off the excess so that you don't put too much extra product on your eye, and then it just won't blend like you want it to, and it's just a little too crazy. So I'm going in with windshield wiper motion, and please, if you see this on my eye, on my eyelash, that is eyelash glue that refuses to come off. It's the House of Lashes glue, which is the best eyelash glue. If y'all are wondering, it does not pop off. All right, now I'm gonna do other eye. And I'm just being kind of messy with this because since I haven't done my foundation or anything yet, I'm gonna go in afterwards and just wipe it like this with a makeup wipe. You'll see in a little while though. Now for the outer corner, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M433 brush. And I'm gonna go in with that dark brown shade right there. Just gonna tap it right on there and kind of bring it outwards this way, because I'm gonna again wipe it with the makeup wipe after I'm done. And don't bring this brown shade too far up, because I don't know what the term is for it, it just doesn't look good. Just stay in the crease and in the outer corner. Don't bring it all the way in, or it's gonna make your eyes more closed in and you're gonna look really tired. So make sure that you stay on the outer corner and right here on the crease. Now that that's done, I'm gonna just take another brush that has no excess product on it, And this is the Morphe G17, and I'm just gonna be using this just to blend everything together. Again, there's no product on this brush, I'm just using it to blend. Blending is key when it comes to eyeshadow. Blending is key when it comes to everything, let's be honest. All right, now for the lid shade, I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. I don't think there's no names on here or anything, so I'm just going in with, it's not the lightest shade, but it's the one right there. And I'm just gonna be using my finger. You can use a brush and spray it with like water or spray it with primer spray and it just picks up a little more product, but I'm just gonna use my finger today because that seems to be what picks up the most product. Because if you just go straight in and use a dry brush, you're not gonna get the full impact of the shadow on your lid. All right, now I'm gonna go back in with that M433 brush. I'm just gonna blend those two shades together so that there is no harsh lines. Now I'm just gonna take a face wipe and I'm going to sweep under the eye and pull it out. And it's gonna give a nice, kind of a sharper cut to the look. All right, now moving on to the face. Now before you go in with foundation or primer or anything, you wanna make sure that your face is moisturized so that there's no dry patches or anything like that. So I have put a little bit of some moisturizer on, but I'm gonna go in with the Pixi Hydrating Milky Mist. You can get this at Target. All right, now after that, I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl Pore Minimizing Primer, and this is just gonna help fill in those pores a little bit and give you more of a smooth canvas to work with. So I'm gonna take about this much on my finger and just put it on my problem areas, which is right on my cheeks and on my forehead. I like to do a little patting because I feel like that helps the product soak into the pores a little more. All right, now we're gonna go in with the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation, and mine is in the shade Buff Beige. I'm just gonna do a couple pumps on the back of my hand and just place dots all over my face. You can go in straight with your brush or your beauty blender and dip it right in there, but I like this method personally because I feel like I get more of an even coverage that way. This foundation is, I believe it's a matte finish. Yeah, this is a seamless matte finish. So I have extremely dry skin, and so I typically don't go for matte foundations as much because I feel like it just kind of makes my face look even more dry and dead. So, but this one is more of a satin finish, so I like it a lot. Then I'm gonna go in with the it's dirty because I used it. It's the Real Techniques Face and Body Sponge. This one is about 3 times bigger than the actual face sponge that you're supposed to blend your foundation out with, but I got this idea from Casey Holmes. She is obsessed with this sponge, and so I got it, and it takes some time getting used to. If you're used to using like a brush, it's gonna take some time getting used to a sponge, and especially how big this one is, it's gonna take a little time. And I'm not gonna put too much product underneath my under eyes because then I'm gonna go in with concealer, and I just don't want it to be too much product under there. So I'm kind of leaving that undone. And then I'm gonna bring whatever's left over on my hand and bring it, and I'm gonna bring it down my neck so that everything just kind of flows together. You do not want to have a line because I self-tan, so my face is definitely not the same color as my neck. I try to get my neck as much as I can, but it never happens. Take the little bit and go over the ears, because my ears is white. Alright, so now that I'm done with foundation, I'm going to go in with some concealer, and I like to use a bit of a lighter shade than my skin tone because I like to be able to highlight my under eye. Some people don't like to do that, but I personally do because I feel like it wakes you up a little bit. It makes you look a little more present with the world around you. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and I'm going to be using the shade Light. So you just twist it. Go in with a little triangle, Then I do a line down my nose, 2 lines on my forehead, my Cupid's bow, and my chin. Go back in with that same sponge and you can use the same side as you did your foundation on, or you can use the more clean side. I'm gonna use the more clean side. Make sure that you're using pouncing motions when you do this and you're not dragging it, because if you drag it, it could possibly pick up the foundation that's underneath it. And then you're just all... I got it on my contact. I'm such a struggle. Oh my God. Oh my God. I swear I live in the most quiet neighborhood ever, and the smallest sound freaks me out. I'm surprised my dog is not yapping right now. I gave her a bath, so she's out right now on the couch. Alright, so now that all of that is blended out, I'm going to immediately go ahead and set my under eye area, and I'm going to use the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Powder. And this is a bit lighter than my face. This is the shade Classic Ivory. And I'm just going to immediately set my under eye area to avoid any creasing that may form. So don't put too much powder underneath your eye area, because then it'll look a little crusty, a little cracky, and that just defeats the whole purpose of doing your makeup. I'm gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Light and Medium. And to do this, I'm gonna be using the Morphe Y2 brush. I'm just gonna get a little bit on there, swirl it around in the cap, and do pouncing motions all over the face. Again, don't brush it in there, because that's gonna, I feel like when you pounce it in, it really gets into the skin more and it really sets better overall on top of your makeup. Alright, now you don't have to contour, but I like to, because I feel like it gives a little more shape to the face and it just really accentuates your cheekbones. So you could use an actual contour palette, but today, since it's like my everyday going to class, I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the shade Deep Bronzer. It smells like coconut. Oh, it's the best thing ever. So to contour today, I'm going to be using the Morphe R14 brush. I'm just going to get a little bit, and make sure you tap that off, because once you go back, you never go. That is not the same. Because if you don't and you go straight in, it could possibly be a little too much product, and you can never go back. So you can always build up, but you can never go back. All right, now when I'm contouring, I'm gonna go a little bit above the cheekbone area, because if you go below, it'll look a little muddy, and that's just defeating the whole purpose of contouring. And you want to blend up, because if you blend down, then it can go too far down and get too close to your mouth, and then it just looks bad. A trick that you can do to find your right line is to make that face and follow your cheekbone line. All right, then I'm gonna take a little bit and I'm gonna go right here on my hairline. And this is just making your forehead look a little bit smaller. Now, I really don't necessarily need to do this, but I feel like it makes it all look and come together. So, all right, now I don't do a full contour on my nose. I just do a little bit to give a little bit of some color. And again, I'm using that same Physicians Formula bronzer. I'm going right here on my nose just to give some color. If you see me looking over here, I'm looking at my monitor to make sure that I'm still in frame and that I'm still recording. All right, then I'm gonna take a little bit and go underneath my bottom lip to give it more of a pouty look, or effect, if you will. All right, now that we're done with that, I'm gonna take the stippling brush. This is the LeBlanc 1205 brush. And I'm just gonna blend everything together. This doesn't have any additional product on it. This is just to blend everything together. All right, now to bronze up the face, I'm gonna be using the same kind of bronzer, but this is in the shade Sun Kissed bronzer. So it's a little bit more warm than the deep bronzer and a little bit lighter, so it's not too harsh. And to do this, I'm gonna be using the Aesthetica P12. I don't know, I got this in a BoxyCharm. If you don't know what BoxyCharm is, please go look it up. I can do a video on that later if you guys want me to, just let me know. I'm gonna take a little bit, tap off the excess, and bronze up the face. Now, I typically only put bronzer on my cheeks and down my neck. I don't do my forehead since I already put some contour up there. I don't want it to look too dark up there. And I'm going in with very light product, so I'm not building it too much. All right, now I'm gonna take a little bit and go down my neck. All right, now going in with blush. Kathleen Lights raves about this blush. This is the Burt's Bees blush in the shade Bare Peach. It looks like this. You can also get this from Walmart, I'm pretty sure, or like Walgreens. And I'm gonna use today the Luxie 514 blush brush. Pretty sure I got this in a BoxyCharm as well. And I'm gonna go in, this is a really peachy shade and I love it. I go right on my cheekbone right there and blend upwards. Again, I'm going back with that same brush, the LeBlanc stippling brush. I'm just gonna blend everything together. All right, now before I go in with mascara, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face with some more Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist. Doing this will just kind of melt the powders all together and you won't look like a cake face, so. Make sure to fan, because if you don't fan and it's still wet and you do facial expressions, then it could crease in those lines on your forehead. All right, now before I go in with mascara, I'm gonna curl my lashes. I truthfully don't know which curler this is, but just get an eyelash curler. And I like to start at the base of my lashes and clamp one, and then move more to the top, clamp it again. Same with the other eye. So now for mascara, I'm gonna use my favorite mascara of all time from the drugstore, and this is the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. This stuff is so good, and I'm using the shade Black. Now I'm gonna use a different mascara for my bottom lashes. I'm gonna use a waterproof mascara, and the reason that I'm doing this is so that it doesn't transfer to my lid area down here, my what's that word? Under eye area. So I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Total Temptation Waterproof Mascara. All right, now the next step that I do is highlight. I'm gonna be using the Maybelline Master Chrome Metallic Highlighter. I think this is in the shade Gilded Gold or something. I don't know, all of the information is off of it. I'm pretty sure this is Gilded Gold. It's the gold one. I think there's a gold one, a more like light pink, more iridescent. The light pink is good. It's not too light pink, so it looks more like an icy tone. But I'm gonna be using the gold one today, and I'm gonna go in with my ColourPop F5 brush and just dig on in, like that. Okay? When you highlight, you don't wanna like go all the way down. You wanna start right here on your cheekbone and work upwards. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna blend this out, don't worry. I'll go ahead and blend that out right now because it's a little harsh. This is why I love stippling brushes, because if you go in with too much product, you can just blend it out with this and look how much better that looks. All right, now for the other side, same thing. Blend it. Now I'm gonna go with a little bit of it, go right at the tip of my nose and right up here. You don't wanna do like a straight down line, at least I don't, because it just kind of looks weird. So I go right across there, take a little bit, go right on the temple of the forehead. I'm gonna go ahead and blend that out. Then again, a little bit more, right on the Cupid's bow and right on the edge of the chin. So now for highlighting the brow bone and the inner corner of the eye, I'm gonna go back in with that Milani palette, and I'm gonna go into that icy white shade right there. I'm gonna go, when you're highlighting your brow bone, you wanna start in the middle and kind of just do where the arch is. Then with the same shade, I'm going in my inner corner. I think I'm actually gonna bring a little bit and go farther on my lower lash line. Right there, yeah. I'm gonna spray my face one more time using the same mist. Now I'm gonna line my lips with the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in the shade 03 Nude. This is my favorite lip liner. And I overline my lips just a little bit on the bottom. And when it gets to this this inner corner right here, make sure that you don't go too far out so that it just kind of looks weird. So start inside. Oh my gosh, what is that? So start inside. I can't talk while I'm doing this, I'm sorry. And I do my whole lip just because I'm going in with like a really light nude liquid lipstick, and I like for the base to be a little darker. Now for the last step, we're gonna go in with liquid lipstick, and this is from the brand Flower Beauty. It's at Walmart, and I had never heard of it until about a year ago, and they're a good brand. It's a little more up there than like Maybelline and CoverGirl and all that, but this is good. This is in the shade Bare Honey, and it looks like this, right there. I like this liquid lipstick because it kind of has like a cooling effect to it. You'll know what I mean when you try it. All right, guys, and this is the final look. I hope you all enjoyed it. It's a very simple look that anyone can accomplish. You do not have to be a makeup artist to do this. Everything is so affordable. So if you have any ideas of what you guys want me to film, please leave your ideas in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.